Another game, another win. Sunderland back to their winning ways, back to keeping clean sheets, and it was a pretty professional performance today. Conor, I see where you're going today. I see where you're going with this. This is going to be a very optimistic video, and then like on Tuesday we'll probably get beat off Crewe and you'll be miserable again. That's probably a fair point, Hat Guy. However, I've got to accept the wins when I can, and I've got to celebrate them as much as I can, because to be honest, the whole point of being a football fan is getting excited when you win and then getting pretty miserable when you lose. I can see it now. In this video you're going to talk about how brilliant Grant Ledbetter is. You're going to talk about how brilliant the defence is. You're probably going to give Phil Parkinson a high mark. You're probably going to say that Conor Mcglocklin is a viable option in defence. You're probably going to say Charlie Wyke was better than you thought. Yeah, Guy, I think that probably is it's a pretty good synopsis of where we're going with this. I just feel like you're a walking contradiction, Conor. Every week you change your mind on players. Sometimes you think Parkinson's brilliant. Sometimes you think Parkinson's poor. You flip-flop all over the place. You know, I remember you didn't want Grant Ledbetter to play at the start of the season, and yet now he's one of your favourite players. Hat Guy, yeah, I understand. I am a contradiction, and I apologise for that. But I want to start with this video. So, Sunderland go away from home and pick up a good, solid, just everything you'd want from an away performance. It was probably what Phil Parkinson would call the perfect performance. A clean sheet, never really looked like conceding, take the chances when you get them, and it was a good day's work. And it also made me think of the game against Charlton a couple of weeks ago, because it was pretty much the same game. You don't allow the opposition any chances, and then you create a few yourself, and then hopefully you take one. Against Charlton we didn't take them. Today we did. We'll go through the events of the game today. Charlie Wyke opened the scoring when Swindon were practicing social distancing. It must be. That's the only explanation I could have in the defence, and just left him completely open. Lyndon Gooch played a ball across and he finished it very well, and you know, Charlie comes in for a lot of stick, a lot of it fair, most of it fair for that matter, but today he did pretty well, and that goal, you know, was reward for him because he had a pretty solid outing. You've got to give him credit. He was there, yes, nobody was marking him, but you know what, maybe that was just his brilliant attacking play. The finish was good. Got to give him credit. So Charlie Wyke 1-0 Sunderland in the 37th minute. In the 50th minute, probably what Swindon fans will call the turning point of the game, Luke O'Nien looked like he fouled Jack Payne. I think it was Jack Payne, the Swindon Town attacker. It looked like the Swindon player was trying to buy it. The referee, though, wasn't purchasing and did not take that as a foul. But O'Nien didn't look like he could really get out of the way. It kind of felt like that guy just sort of stuck his foot on him. But I could have seen it as a penalty at the time. I thought the referee was going to point to the spot, but he didn't. We get away with it. Still 1-0 early in the second half. Sunderland then get a penalty themselves. Chris Mcguire was some good play. Well, actually, it was good play from Max Power to get the ball across to him. It was the perfect counter attack, really. And Mcguire dribbles through, gets brought down. Looked a pretty stonewall penalty to me. Dusts himself down, and Mcguire takes it himself. We go 2-0 up. Mcguire deserves a lot of credit because he was very, very good today, and pretty much what we were missing against Charlton a couple of weeks ago. So it's good to see him back and firing on all cylinders. He looked good, he looked sharp. There were some good interceptions in the first half, but we'll get more into his performance when we do the player ratings. So there we have it. Sunderland won 2-0. There wasn't really much else to report on in the game. We defended well, and we came away with a precious 3 points. So the player ratings, these are the best part of watching the game, is seeing what people think, seeing what people are rating the players at, and see different perspectives. Because we all watch the game, but we all get different views of what's happened. So I'll give you my ratings in the comments below. Tell me why I'm wrong, tell me why I'm right. Have a good conversation there, it'll be fun. So, Lee Burge, 7 today. There was a shaky clearance in the first half. It might actually be in the second half. Yeah, I think it was in the second half. There was a shaky clearance anyway where he kicked it off the Swindon attack area. It could have went anywhere. Luckily, it didn't go anywhere dangerous. He was able to clear it. But other than that, I didn't really have any other points on him. He dealt with what he needed to dealt quite well. I've given him a 7 today. Conor Mcglocklin, I thought he did well today. You know, he comes in for a lot of stick. He struggled since he signed for Sunderland. But today, he was solid. I think Sunderland fans were judging him because of their perception of him. But today, I thought he did a very good job. He didn't put a foot wrong. Certainly since he's not really played league games. I know he played for Northern Ireland in the week, but he's not really touched the ball for Sunderland this season. So, and to be honest, he didn't really touch a ball for Sunderland last season. So he's came in today. He's done a pretty solid job. Didn't put a foot wrong. you've got to give him credit for that. And I think Conor proved today that he's a viable option going forward, and I was impressed with his performance, so I've given him a 7. Jordan Willis went off injured, so his rating's not applicable, but I did think he looked solid. But yeah, I've not given him a rating today. So Bailey Wright, I've given him an 8 today. I just thought he organised, he was strong. I love the way he plays. I love how just, gets in the way of everything. You just don't feel worried when you've got him at the back. It's like having an insurance policy, because just every time the attack, somebody gets through your defence, Wright's just there clearing it up. So I really, really enjoyed his performance today, and I thought Bailey Wright was solid. I've given him an 8. But it just doesn't look like we're going to concede goals with him in the team. And you can see what defensive record and clean sheets. A lot of credit has to go to the whole team, but I think Bailey Wright should get most credit, because I feel like it's his influence. And today he was playing with not people who weren't natural centre backs, and he just guided them through the game brilliantly. So I thought Bailey Wright, I would probably say he is the best defender in the league, certainly from what I've seen over the last few years. I haven't seen a defender do as well as what he has in the last few weeks. So hopefully we can keep him fit, especially since we've got a looming defensive injury crisis on our hands. Luke O'Nien, the attacking midfielder, stroke central midfielder, stroke right back, stroke centre back now. He just fills in everywhere and he does well. Didn't put a foot wrong today. I've given him a 7. Could easily have probably been an 8, but I didn't think he did anything particularly outstanding. He just did his job. So really appreciated Luke's performance today. I thought he was very good. So 7. Josh Gowen, I think he grew into the game as it went on. I just didn't really have many notes down for him today. Put in a few good crosses, but I've given him a 6. I would like to see a little bit more from him going forward. I just feel like sometimes he goes a bit missing in there, and today our midfield was dominated by Grant Ledbetter, and we'll talk about him in a minute, but I just didn't think that Scowen really got his authority on the game. But that being said, I thought he played well. I've given him a 6, but probably could have got a little bit higher, but I just didn't think he did enough to assert himself on the game. Max Power, really good ball for Chris Mcguire's penalty. For that reason, I bumped him up to a 7. He was pretty much on a 6 all game. He did nothing wrong. He broke a play quite well. His passing was, normally good enough. What you would expect from Max Power. We know his passing is a bit hit and miss. He's not as good at passing as, say, Grant Ledbetter, but I thought Power did well today, so I've given him a 7. So my man of the match. My man of the match today, Grant Ledbetter. He is just impressing me more and more this season, and today he was just brilliant. From his quick thinking for the free kick that nearly went in the first half to his breaking up of play, just always in the right place. I thought Grant was superb today. As perfect a midfield performance as you could get at this level. I just thought he was outstanding. So I was impressed with him. I've given him a 9. That makes him the man of the match today, and I feel like every time he's played this season he's not let us down, and I think we're seeing the player we thought we bought a couple of years ago. So really, really impressed with Grant. Mcguire, giving him an 8 today. I thought Mcguire was brilliant. Really, really impressed with him and his performance, and you can't ask for more than making a penalty and scoring it, but it's just his overall play was brilliant. So any out of 10. We miss him when he's not on the team. And his defensive work and his pressing was really good today. Normally you don't see that with Chris necessarily all the time, but today everything about his performance was solid. So yeah, I've given him an 8. Lyndon Gooch, he played in an unfamiliar sort of left wing back position, and you got to give him credit for that, because he didn't really let us down. It was the odd straight pass, but overall he was solid. I've given him a 7, but he got an assist for Charlie White, so maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but I thought Gooch was very, very good today, did what he needed to do, and was vital for us in our pursuit of 3 points, which is what we got. So yeah, 7 for him, didn't let us down. Charlie White, he's the one who everyone, there's a big debate. I've weighed in on the debate at times. I sometimes feel like he's a bit lazy, he struggles in the air, considering he's a target man, but today he did everything he needed to do. I thought he was really good. His goal was good. He got unmarked, got in the right area, finished it really well, but overall he won some headers today, which is nice to see. He was a bit of a nuisance. I think Swindon struggled to deal with him, and they were always worried about him, so I thought he did really well. I've given him a 7. Maybe that's a bit harsh, could have been an 8, but I think Sunderland fans need to sort of take off them "we don't like Charlie White" specs, and today appreciate what was a good performance from him, because I thought he did really well. 7 out of 10. But yeah, impressed. So the last player I rate is Jack Diamond. He came off the bench on about the 20th minute for Willis. I didn't see much from him today. I sort of felt that it was a lot of huff and puff, not, just struggled to get into the game. I don't want to criticise the lad too much. I've given him a 5. Might be a little bit harsh. I didn't see him do much right or wrong. He was quite anonymous throughout the game. But in terms of coming on, making his debut in League One, you can't knock him. He kept up with the game. He struggled sometimes to beat his man, but that'll come with experience. It's the first time he's played, I think, at this level really for any amount of time. So he did well, well enough. I've given him a 5. That's probably a little bit harsh, but it's hard to get ratings on this ratings show. So the last thing to rate is the performance of Phil Parkinson, and I've got to say today I think he got it as good as he could considering the injuries. In my head, with the suspensions and injuries we had, and then Jordan Willis going off injured, I really thought he would end up going forward the back, but he didn't. And the fact he's got Bailey Wright there sort of organising things meant that Luke O'Nien and Conor Mcglocklin came through the game and were fine and never looked out of place. You've got to give Parkinson a really high rating today. I think he deserves an 8 or a 9. You go away from home, you keep a clean sheet, you score a couple of goals, you never look threatened defensively. That's a perfect day in my opinion. So as for the league table now, Sunderland are 5 points off the top, 4 points off Hull, who are in second. However, we do have a game in hand. 6 goals scored, 1 conceded. We need to score more goals going forward if we're going to progress in this league, because you can't really rely on keeping clean sheets every game. Would be nice, if we did keep, every 5 games we kept 4 clean sheets, but I just don't see that happen to the end of the season. But overall, we can't complain. It's been a good start of the season. Today was a good win against a side that I thought could be a tricky game, but we came through it unscathed. Looking ahead, Crewe on Tuesday, that should be an interesting game. I think Crewe generally like to play football, so them coming to the Stadium Light, it might actually suit us because normally teams sit in, but that'll be an interesting battle. And then looking past that, big game against Portsmouth next weekend. That's always an interesting one. Sunderland Portsmouth, we've got a lot of history together, but I look forward to previewing that one as we review the Crewe game on Tuesday night. So thanks for watching this video today. I've sort of lowered the production values just because it was taking longer to produce them and putting in the graphics. So if you prefer me doing it with the higher production but it take a little bit longer, that's fine. But for now, I'm going to try and stick with lower production just so I can get the videos out quicker and this video not consume my whole Saturday evening. So yeah, please, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, please like it, please comment below if you think I'm full of shit or not. I would appreciate it. So thanks for watching.